want to hang out with her for just for 5 minutes.
Never seen her do an interview or anything. Like, I've heard all of her music, and she's great, but it's so funny. I've never heard her speak.
She's very funny.
Yeah. Have you seen her live? Mm-hmm. Is she good?
It's so good.
Yeah.
She plays like every instrument. She's just
I'm sure
amazing.
she does. It's disgusting.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
I wouldn't be able to be friends
way.
with her. I'd be like, I want to be you. Like, my life is worth nothing right now being in your presence.
I just would look at her and be like, tell me all your secrets.
Yes, tell me.
Tell me what kind of coffee you drink.
Does she drink coffee?
I think she does.
How much do you know about Sarah Bareilles?
I never see her holding a cup of coffee, but I feel in my heart of hearts that she's a coffee drinker.
I think so too.
So if anybody knows if Sarah Bareilles is a coffee drinker, can you confirm? Can you confirm?
Sarah Bareilles, if you're listening, please confirm.
Yeah, please confirm. Also, let me know when we can hang out.
ASAP.
Please.
Side note, Julie and I have a very common interest, which is, I'm not even surprised. So I posted a picture of a Mini Coupe on my Instagram. And Julie's like, that's my dream car. And it's my dream car too. So
they're so cute.
Julie actually got to drive a Mini Coupe before I did, but I just took my first test drive. Test drive?
Yeah. What did you think, though?
I loved it. It was different because you definitely feel like you're in more of a box, and it was a little bit hard to see, but it was one of the smaller coupes. I really love the Countryman, whatever. It's just a little bit bigger. It feels more of like an SUV.
They're just so cute.
Which Mini Coupe, if you could buy one today, which one would you buy?
I think it would just be the Mini, the small one.
Just the Mini. Yeah, the classic Mini.
The classic Mini.
Awesome. What color?
Definitely white.
Of course.
It may or may not have a black stripe. I don't know.
Yeah, I love those bonnet
because the stripes are cute.
Yeah.
But I definitely would love, I want the full-on sunroof. Like,
so convertible?
Open that sucker up.
Convertible coupe.
Let's just ride. Yeah. Let's just ride.
I don't think I've ever driven in a convertible.
I'd like to do a little cross country, but
yeah.
I don't want my anxiety to hold me back. I instantly said it and then almost sucked it back in.
Yeah, me too.
I would love to be able to go and just do fun stuff and be free and stay who knows where and not have an agenda, but my brain does not function like that.
Mine doesn't
I'm
either.
jealous of those people.
I know. I'm jealous of those people who are just completely fearless. Like, I work with a guy who has, no girlfriend at the moment, no family, no kids. And he takes a week or two off every 4 weeks. He just got back from Iceland. He went to Ireland and he's going to Italy. And he went to Ireland twice, I believe.
I just am amazed by people that can travel alone like that.
Yeah.
You just go and you just do it.
I'm just going by myself. He's like, yeah, I walked 6 miles in Ireland. Didn't really know where I was going. You would have to drive me to the nearest hospital.
I would immediately have my GPS on. I wouldn't be able to go anywhere. I'm like, where can I walk to? Even now, right before we got here, I was like, oh, I could go for some orange juice, but I have no idea what's on the street. So I was like, should I just drive down the street? Luckily, I saw Heritage is not far away. So that was a quick recovery. Mm-hmm. But in my heart, I'm like, oh, I don't know this street at all. Like, people, how do you do it? I just want to absorb that energy.
We should interview him.
I want to know how he does that. Bill. Absolutely.
I don't know. There's this like aggressiveness. I guess they have this fearlessness. It's a personality type that you have to have. And we're different personalities.
Yeah, I do not have it.
And that's okay.
But I crave it. Like, I would love to be able to do it.
That's my prayer for my son, is that he would be fearless and just go anywhere.
Absolutely. For him, totally. I agree. I
love
love that.
And not to throw women under the bus or anything like that, but I think most men are like, they're just okay with doing crazy things like that. Mm-hmm. I have one friend who's a missionary to Nepal. I mean, that's like 2 plane rides, 11 hours each, and then another 9-hour drive. And then you got to walk 5 miles to the remotest civilization with like dead bodies on this road and everybody, because people are starving.
And all I can think about right now is like, where would I go to the bathroom?
Exactly.
In that time frame. And also,
is there a hospital somewhere?
Is there somewhere local that I can get to in case of an emergency?
Is there a Wawa?
That's where
Is there a Starbucks?
Will there be coffee there? And if not, I can't go.
That would be the first thing.
But yeah.
I think it's the idea of not being familiar with our surroundings. Like, if I feel lost, even if I go to like Six Flags.
Yeah, I'm not big on change.
I hate change.
Not big on change.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Mm-hmm.
So we feel those people who are dealing with anxiety. So Julie has some really cool tattoos, and I actually don't have any. Another opposite that we share. Mm-hmm. So
what what you want to know.
I'm looking through my notes right now. Anyway, so tell me about one of your tattoos. Like the inspiration behind it.
Well, my first tattoo was a lily, not for any reason except for I thought it was pretty.
Yeah.
But my tattoos on my arm, my sleeve of tattoos, are all meaningful tattoos. Not just because I like them. I also like them, but there are birth flowers for my family. I have a deer that represents myself because, as you guys know, little baby deer, they fall a lot and then they get back up and they continue to walk. So that was a representation just for me. I also have the word home, which Brock has with him because we decided that no matter what happens in life, together we're home and we'll keep that going. I have a eucalyptus branch because eucalyptus is a calming scent for people that struggle with anxiety. So
really?
There's like a reminder.
Eucalyptus.
I have an ampersand, which stands for, an ampersand is the and sign, which a lot of people use the semicolon to represent like hope beyond suicide.
Oh, okay.
And it was for my daughter, Tori. Our family got tattoos together. Maybe someday we can have her on and tell her story.
I think so.
And so other than that, I have just a lot of family wisdom on my arm. I have a teacup for my mom with a Tetley tea bag that sticks out of it. That is precious. I have my mom's favorite doily tattooed on the back of my arm. I have my sister's.
What's a doily?
A doily?
Yeah.
It's like the little lace that you put underneath like for decoration.
Oh, okay.
And I have a vintage perfume bottle that was my sister's on my arm. So I just have a lot of family representation on my arm.
It is very beautiful.
A tattoo
artwork.
with my best friend that we got not long ago together, just to remind ourselves that we're there for each other. And when she struggles, it's a little flower and a big flower. So basically, when she is going through things, I can be her big flower, and when I am, she can be mine. So just little reminders of things that are represented on my body for the love of family and people that mean a lot to me. That's really what my tattoos are, and almost all of them represent things.
And do you have a go-to person that does the art
that
you trust? Because I would be so afraid, like, oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm extremely picky, so I feel bad when I go there because I feel like I have a lot of opinion. But
that's good, though,
Mike Sedges is my tattoo guy. He works in Brooklawn at 12 Ounce Studios. He is the best. He's the best. He does everything. Shout out to Mike. He's so good at what he does. He's done my family's tattoos. He's done Tori's. He does Brock's. We're big fans of Mike. We became friends with him, and he's awesome. So definitely go to him. He's amazing.
Now, how much like detail do you have to give him to like in order for him to get the vision of what you really want? Because I don't verbalize what I really want, and my husband can attest to that. So I would be so afraid to be like, oh, I don't really want that, but I don't really know what I want.
Right. So you can tell him things that you love.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, you can just give him some ideas. You can also send him some pictures of things, and he'll compile them and make it into something for you. And he's very good about listening to you. So if you have an opinion or you're like, I don't love that there, I don't love that there, like he will change it to what works with both of you. But he obviously is the tattoo artist, so he knows what's going to last. He knows what size things should be. The texture, all of that. He knows what will be in for the long haul because a tattoo is forever.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure that in years to come that it still looks
like it.
good and that it still, looks like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So he's wonderful, and as long as you give him some idea, like he takes it and he runs with it. He's an artist, so he takes it from 0 to 10. You don't have to do a lot of the work.
Yeah. It's good to find somebody you trust in that area. My husband has one tattoo. He's been wanting to get more.
You should definitely go see him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Have you ever, a few more? Are you ready for a few more? These actually aren't too bad.
I think they're good.
Yeah. Have you ever broken a bone, or what's your worst injury?
Oh, yeah. I am.
That sounds pretty bad.
The person that weird stuff happens to.
Tell us.
Well, I have broken bones. I've broken my hand, broken my sternum bone.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. I was in a head-on car accident.
Wow. When was that?
It was August 2015. Head-on car accident. Guys, believe in seatbelts, please. I always wear seatbelts, but I mean, this day, I'll never forget it. Got hit head on. The airbag went off, and the airbag is actually what broke my sternum because we're petite, and when you're petite, you like sit close to the wheel, and so you can't help it. You kind of are gonna get injured by it one way or another.
And you were wearing your seatbelt.
I always wear my seatbelt, and I was wearing my seatbelt, and my hands flew up in the air and got burned, like the tips of my fingers got burned. But when a guy from I got hit right in front of a liquor store, and a guy came right out, and he got me out of the car, and he was saying to me, like, I got to get you out, your car's leaking stuff and it doesn't look good, and let me get you. And I kept saying, my mom told me never to get out of the car at an accident. He's like, you're hurt, I need to get you out,
and your car's about to blow up.
So he luckily the accident happened not far from my house, my parents' house, and the guy got me out of the car, and he was sitting with me, and I actually could not hear because the airbag is really loud when it goes off.
Really?
And it creates a ringing in your ear.
No
So I was like all thrown off. I couldn't hear. I like had this pain, and I could see my brother. He found out I was in an accident, and he came running. He didn't even drive. He ran to me, and I just remember like seeing him and being it was all so weird and confusing.
It was like a dream sequence.
Yes, it was. And at the time, they didn't know my sternum was broken. So they would have flown me to Cooper, but they didn't know.
Yeah.
So they took me in an ambulance to Voorhees, and they were like, you have a broken sternum.
Oh my goodness.
A broken hand, broken sternum. But God is amazing. I did have a infant, a premature baby at home, and actually it was my due date that I got hit in this car accident.
Wow.
And she was a preemie, born 7 weeks prior.
Wow.
And
was that Lily?
Yes. And they had told me that if I was still pregnant with her, she wouldn't have made it.
Oh my
based
goodness.
on the injuries, or it would have been like severe problems. So God is always up to something.
Yeah.
I remember when I was I was going into labor with her, and they were telling me like, she's going to be a preemie. We don't know what's going to happen and all this stuff and the complications. And the NICU is amazing. They took her right away. I didn't even get to see her, but she stayed there with them, and they really helped out. But when I got in the accident and they had told me that, I'm like, God, like, you're so cool. You knew this was going to happen. You wanted to protect her, and that's why this played out this way. And I had great family because I couldn't lift her. I wasn't allowed to lift anything because of the sternum and the arm, obviously.
Yeah.
So I had great family that would hand her to me, and I would like hold her, and then they would take her back. But God is so good.
Yeah.
So that's just one of the crazy broken bones that has happened to me. That was the probably the worst one.
There's been a few instances, probably more that I don't know of, where I felt God's hand on my life, like being at a traffic light, a red light. One time I felt this overwhelming desire to text my friend and just encourage her, and I was sitting at the red light. You're not really supposed to do that.
We're not saying to text and drive. She was stopped.
I was stopped.
We don't want to have haters. She was at a light and texting. Do not troll us because of this.
Please don't do that. It has a happy ending. My life was saved. But anyway, I was texting, and during that time the light turned green. And I didn't see it because I was texting.
So please.
But I looked up and I was still texting. I'm like, okay, the light's green. I went to put my phone down. Car came through the red light at like 60 miles per hour.
My gosh.
So if I had went at the moment it turned green, which we normally do, and not had waited those 5 seconds, I would have gotten hit.
Oh my gosh, I love those stories.
I love those stories. It's like I was supposed to text that person at that moment. And it was such an overwhelming sensation to text her. And then the other moment, the same thing happened to me, but it was more funny. Like, I actually crack my joints and stuff. Like, you probably don't like that, right? I crack my hips. I crack my fingers.
She's always like,
I
gotta crack something.
It's a terrible cracker. But I was at a red light, and my hip actually, I went to move it to the gas, and my hip cracked in such a way that it was painful. And I couldn't go. I was like, oh, man, I just got to sit here for a minute because no one was behind me. And the same thing happened. A person came through the red light at like 65 miles per hour. So if that didn't happen, I would have gotten hit again. Like,
oh, my goodness. Like, you have something about the red lights.
And
God is like, Des, no.
Yeah.
No. You may not go when it turns green.
Yes.
Wow.
You may not pass go. You may not collect $200. And I was coming home from a retreat at that point, too. Like, you're on the mountain high of a retreat, a spiritual high, and, God forbid I had gotten in that car accident on the way home.
Wow.
So
wow, that's a really
middle of
incredible
nowhere.
story.
Yeah. So crack those joints as much as you need to.